Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at X-Men X-Tinction Agenda Omnibus. Now, I almost messed up on this. Probably not. I probably could have got this from somewhere else, but I've been trying to go with Speedy Hen recently because it's a bit cheaper than Forbidden Planet. And I went a bit late. So I cancelled my order with Forbidden Planet, which in general, I'm pretty bit cheeky. I generally use that just to keep an eye on dates as things are coming out. It's maybe I'm just it's a bit easier. So I almost missed this, and I ended up ordering it perhaps a little bit late when the initial stock had gone out. Kudos for some people, probably very happy. And out of the blue, finally it's arrived. So I'm very, very happy because I was worried that I was going to potentially miss it, but I'm sure I would have got it somehow. So there we go. And then we got the side. So we got, I believe that's Storm on the side. It looks like Storm. It's got the white eyes like Storm. It doesn't feel like Wolfsbane at this point. So that's quite decent. It's probably actually very rare that we get a Storm on the side off an omnibus. So this book, so there were two hardcovers released for a very long time. One that had X-Tinction Agenda, and it also had the issues before, which you didn't really need if you'd been collecting some of the other omnibuses or some of the other books. And there was also the other book which had Days of Future. No, not Future Past. It was called Future Past, but it was meant to be called Future Present. So that always irritated me. So they had that, which collected numerous numerous annuals into one storyline. So they've combined them together to give us this omnibus to complete our sets, but also for those that have missed out on those hardbacks because they were released years ago. This also has some additional stuff as well, not released in those. The only thing that I could say is different is in the Days of Future Present, it also had Days of Future Past in there. Doesn't need to be in here as far as I'm concerned, because any X-fan who's collecting these books will have Volume Uncanny X-Men Volume 2, I'm going to say. Top of my head, it may be Volume 3. I may be wrong. So generally, most people have that story anyway, but it doesn't have the Wolverine story. Now, I believe that is going to be released in an upcoming Wolverine omnibus. Don't ask me which one because I've completely forgotten. So this collects Uncanny X-Men 270 to 272, New Mutants 95 to 97, X-Factor 60 to 62, X-Men Annual 97 14 to 15. And X-Men Spotlight on Starjammers 1 and 2, which I think people have wanted for a long time. This also collects material from Fantastic Four Annual 23. 17. Wait a minute. New Mutants, Annual 6 and 7. X-Factor Annual 5 and 6. New Warriors Annual 1. Then Marvel Comics presents 10, 17, 24, 32, 41, 43, 48, 49. And then Marvel Superheroes 2 and 6 and 8. Marvel Holiday Special 1 and Marvel Tales 262. And then there's lots of people that write this. So, wow, that was a mouthful. So, in reality, it's about 40 issues. However, they are not full issues because some of them are material. And the Marvel Presents were never full 20-odd page issues anyway. So, let's take the just cover off. And then on this side, you have all the creators: Chris Claremont, Fabian Nicieza, who I'm so sorry, I know, that was terrible. Louise Simonson, John Boganov, oh my goodness, it gets worse. Jim Lee and Dave Cockrum. And then you've got a synthesis this side, which I never read, and it's got a nice picture of Jubilee going on there. And then on there, we've got Storm and the Phoenix, which looks absolutely awesome. This is where I think they start first meeting again, if I remember correctly. I think. I could be completely wrong. I could be talking rubbish. So, Let me carefully lay this down. Now here comes the tricky part. Getting my camera into a position where I can show this without knocking it every 2 seconds. Right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I feel it's going to be my left hand that's going to be the problem. It's going to be my left hand. Right, we're going to carefully. Yeah, you bugger. It's already a problem. Right, so let's open that up. Let's get nice Genosha guards. Oh, wow, that looks nice. So we've got from 1990 to 1990, nice and easy. And we have 914 pages. I do like it when it's like that. That does feel good. So you got the Days of Future Present story first, because that's what took place. And then it moves on to X-Tinction agenda. There we go. So I'm just going to carefully try and show some pages. Let's bring some light in there as well. Apologies. We know this bit. Never good at this bit. Never deny that. There's big Rachel focus in this as well. And if I remember correctly, this is the first time that Rachel actually meets Jean Grey as well. So there's a moment. Then we go into the X-Tinction agenda, which is the other big story, where a bunch of mutants, if I remember rightly, are kidnapped. And Cameron Hodge is the big bad guy. And it ends up, well, we've just seen how it ends up if you looked quickly. Quite disastrous for him. So, yeah, so two big events. I mean, Days of Future Present isn't as well known as perhaps the X-Tinction agenda. X-Tinction agenda, I remember. So, obviously, I was collecting mid-90s when I was really into X-Men comics. I sort of dwindled off, but then around 2004, I kept seeing X-Tinction agenda. I never read it at that point, I'll be quite honest with you. So when I started the moment I started getting back into comics was around 2006. And I was collecting every sync that I could get my hands on from graphic novels. So, and it's probably took me a few years to map out in my head how these things actually fit in next to each other, you know, and collecting omnibuses, which is all I collect now, to be fair. I don't collect anything else, is the best way for me to have my map route of reading everything and to obviously enjoy reading as well, I think. So starting in January, I've made a pledge to myself that I'm going to go right back to the beginning and start collecting. I'm going to start reading from the beginning. So I'm actually looking forward to that. I need to finish Dazzler before I do that, though. So it's quite nice that we are sort of almost heading towards a semi-completed 90s. I mean, we've had 80s and 70s and 60s. Quite complete for a while in terms of Omnibus. Other than, all right, we could argue, well, not in terms of spin-offs. X-Factor's not completed. New Mutants isn't completed. Excalibur's not completed, but although you could argue that that's pretty well into the 90s now. And Starjammers. And then we get some little bits at the end, which is quite nice. See, that's a nice, I like that. I like that a lot. This is the one that stands out quite a bit. I do generally, this would have been the novel that I would have grabbed back then. But this picture of these three is quite iconic. I generally would have liked that direct market cover, because for a long time I have generally been direct market cover person. And, you know, certainly the last sort of year that I've gone, wait a minute, I need to perhaps be a bit more careful on my spend. Hopefully at some point, I'm hoping next year I get to a point where I am once again comfortable financially and I can say, do you know what, I can buy that direct market cover. I don't mind paying extra whatever Forbidden Planet are charging, because that's the thing with Speedy Hen, they only do the standard covers. But ultimately I don't mind, because I get what I want out of it. Anyway, hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Really appreciate you watching this video. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel already. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.